Hi, this is Nicole, fashion consultant for Pageant contestants and women executives, and today I'm going to be covering the gowns that the top 10 finalists for the Miss Grand International 2025 pageant wore for the finals portion of the pageant, and I'll end with my favorite gown, my top one. And this is really helpful if you're a pageant contestant in particular, because I'm going to be covering ways that these gowns stood out, as well as ways they could have really stepped it up for those that didn't make it to my top 5. So be sure to watch so that way you know how you can really step it up for the evening gown portion of your next pageant. So without further ado, here is my list. So number 10 was Ghana, and this was a very gorgeous gown. I really like how she gave a nod to the African culture with the pattern within the gown. It looked like diamonds woven into the gown. Not actual diamonds, but diamond-like pattern, because they were kind of like not a triangle, but like a diamond shape within the gown, within the beading. And it was a really beautiful gown, and what really made it stand out was the fact that the gown was black, and then the beading that was sewn onto the gown was silver, making the silver pop up against the black background of the gown. And I just really like how she was able to tie elements of the African culture into the evening gown portion and really give a nod to the African culture while also keeping it appropriate for the evening gown portion, really standing out on stage. So she did a good job there. I also just felt so the reason why I put her at 10 was because I felt like the gown that she wore for prelims really stood out more than this gown. And also she really would have stood out had she chosen a different color. She chose black, and mind you, the beading on the gown was silver, but I feel like had she worn a lighter or brighter shade like she did for the prelims, that really would have took this to the next level and made her stand out even more. But otherwise, she looked beautiful, and it was a gorgeous gown. So number 9 was Columbia. This was another beautiful gown. I mean, all of them were gorgeous. I really liked how she was able to incorporate the colors of MGI, as did some of the other contestants that I'm going to be discussing in a minute, into her gown. It was gold, and then it had gold beading as well as green beads within the gown. And I really love the different shapes and sizes of beading that she incorporated into the gown. Now, the reason why she didn't make it to the top 5 on my list is because I felt like she really could have stepped it up more. She's another case of a gown that she wore for prelims that really looked better than what she wore for the finals. And I think it might have been the color. It kind of looked dull on her. She could have chosen a color that really popped against her skin tone more, like a brighter color. But otherwise, great job. And I love the 3D neckline as well. It was regal, but also more on the safe side. Number 7, Guatemala. She's another one who was able to incorporate MGI colors into her gown, and it had an ombre effect. It was green up at the top, and then slowly it started to turn to gold at the bottom. And I loved the beading up at the top was gorgeous. It really caught the lighting well. And I loved how the gown really gave her an hourglass figure due to all the beading that was around the hip area and how it cinched in her waist. It really flattered her well and made her look absolutely phenomenal. Only thing with this gown was, while it was a gorgeous gown, it didn't really look finished on the bottom to me. It could have had more going on at the bottom. But otherwise, the colors complemented her well, and like I said, I like how she gave a nod to MGI and how it really suited her figure very well. So for number 6, Venezuela, she's another one who incorporated MGI colors into her gown, and I really loved the cape that was attached to the back of the gown. It was a green silk cape. It looked like it was made out of silk, and I liked that it looked like it tied up at the top and it formed like a ribbon-like shape, which really was eye-catching and unique, and it really brought out the green that was at the top of green was really dominant up at the top of the gown, and the rest of the gown appeared to be gold. And she seemed to walk at ease in this gown too, probably because of the slit Typically, when you wear a gown with a slit, it gives your legs more room to walk, making it easier for you to glide across the stage in the evening gown portion. I also felt as if with this gown, while it was beautiful, she had better styling at the prelim portion of the pageant. That gown really popped on stage, and that color looked great on her. So I felt like maybe she could have switched the gowns around, and that really would have given her an edge over her competition in terms of the evening gown competition. So for number 5, Czech Republic. This gown, so what really made this gown stand out was the details and the accents that she had on the gown. One, the color suited her well. The metallic silver was great on her, looked great on her, and I liked the choker neck that the gown had, as well as the shoulder pads and the tassels that were coming from the shoulder pads. And I liked that the center was cut out. It really flattered her figure very well and made it look very unique. It's in fine details like these that can really make a gown stand out from the rest. Small, fine details like this. And it caught the light well, and it was just an overall great look. So number 4 was Mexico, and she won the evening gown, best evening gown of the night. And I see why. Like, when I really took the time to look at the gown, it looked like it was made out of crystals. It looked really rich and luxurious. It was absolutely gorgeous. Kind of reminded me of the crystals that you would see on a chandelier or on a tiara, and she kind of gave her an ice queen look. So the fine detailing really made her look like a queen. And I also saw that when she came out on stage, she had a white feather, it was either a boa or opera coat. I couldn't tell, she didn't have it on. She was more so holding it, but that really complemented the gown very well. And if you're going to do an opera coat or a boa, that's the way to do it, making sure that it really enhances and doesn't take away from the gown. You don't want it to have too much going on to the point where it's contrasting with the gown, and she did a great job. And the color really complemented her well too. She had a more tan like skin tone, so that white up against the tan popped. So great job to Mexico. Number 3 on my list is Thailand. And again, this was a standout gown to me due to the detailing within her gown. The feathers, as soon as she stepped out on stage, that really caught my eye, as well as the crystal detailing within the gown. She had different crystals of different shapes and sizes. And the gloves were a nice added touch to the gown. I believe they had the beading embellished on them. And it really flattered her figure very well. So great job to Thailand. Number 2, Spain. This gown, oh my gosh, absolutely breathtaking and gorgeous. When she stepped out on stage, I was like, oh, where can I get a gown like that from for my next pageant? Gorgeous. She just looked like a queen when she stepped out on stage. And I could really see her with the MGI crown, that crowning look with this gown. And it looked so queenly because of, one, the intricate fine beading and detailing within the gown. Like when it caught the light, it kind of had like a rainbow effect, even though the gown was like a metallic silver. So gorgeous with the color, as well as the cape. The cape really looked like something that a queen would wear. And this is a great example of the level of intricacy it really takes to stand out on stage during the evening gown portion in a pageant like MGI, where the fashions tend to be more over the top, and the women that compete in these pageants really need to step it up when it comes to styling. And she did a great job of doing just that, and it caught the light very well, and she shined like a tiara on the stage. So great job to Spain. And number 1 is our new 2025 reigning queen, Philippines. Like when she stepped out on stage, oh my gosh, I was like, she looks like the sun. I know it was orange, but it kind of reminded me of the sunrise or sunset that you would see over the ocean. It was gorgeous, and it was so bright and beautiful and eye-catching, and it really suited her well. And it had different shades of orange in it, which was very eye-catching. And then the beading, the ombre effect within the beading was absolutely stunning. And when she walked out on stage during the finals presentation, she had a reveal. She was wearing what looked like a orange feather opera coat. And then she took it off and revealed the gorgeous gown that she had underneath it, and the feather boa, or feather opera coat, sorry, really complemented the gown well. She just looked absolutely stunning, and it really worked to her advantage because she's now the new reigning MGI queen. So great job with her. And this is a great example of the power of colors and how finding the right color palette for you and making it work in your wardrobe really can help give you the edge and stand out in any segment of the competition, and in her case with the evening gown portion. So great job and congratulations to her. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you're a pageant contestant and you find yourself being overwhelmed by the wardrobe portion of a pageant, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will put the link to my website within the description so that way you could see if my service would be right for you in helping you prep for your next pageant. And also, if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, as there will be plenty more videos like this coming out. So that's all for today, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.